Well, good morning. I am back up here at Yankee Springs recreational area. I am doing the Deep Lake Trail Loop today. So we're just got the trailhead right behind me. So it is a gorgeous day. It's probably getting close to 70 degrees. The sun is out. Everything is green because it's springtime, so it's absolutely gorgeous. It's a 12-mile loop. The last 2 miles are just kind of a loop that goes back on the other side of the trailhead, so I'm probably not going to do that. There's nothing to see back there. It's just walking through the woods. We'll see when I get back what time looks like. I want to be able to get back to the house at a decent time. I'm about 2 hours away from home, so then probably half an hour, 40 minutes north of Kalamazoo, Michigan. So if anybody's familiar with the Kalamazoo, Battle Creek area, this will end up being fun with all the mountain bikers. Apparently there's a section of this that's a really big mountain bike path. So I'm going to try to keep out of the way of the mountain bikers so I don't get run over. But if you remember, this is actually one of my favorite places for some decent mileage hiking. If you recall, one of my videos before was doing the Yankee Springs section of the NCT, the North Country Trail. So this is the same vicinity. I actually passed the trailhead for the NCT probably about a half a mile down the road here. So let's see what we see. I don't know how much scenery there's going to be here, but the woods are absolutely gorgeous. It's so great to be outside after being cooped up all winter long. So let's enjoy our little adventure walk, as Rowan calls it. So a shout out to my grandson Rowan. Hopefully he'll watch this and be like, "Oh, cool, Papa mentioned me on one of his videos." So this is one of my adventure walks, as Rowan calls it. So we'll have some nice fun today. So see you around. So today I'm actually carrying pretty minimal water. As anybody who follows me knows, I tend to carry more water than I need. But as I was doing reconnaissance of this trail, I noticed there is a tremendous amount of water. So I've just got my filter if I need it. Probably won't, but oh, there goes it's like a tadpole or a fish went zipping by. But there's plenty of water on this trail, so at any point I can just grab my Canuck bag and my filter and top myself off. Yeah, there are a lot of mountain bikers out today. And some of them are really courteous, others not so much. Just you have to remember trail etiquette, and trail etiquette is always horses have the right of way to hikers, and hikers have the right of way to mountain bikers. Not everybody recognizes that. You have to be careful because they'll go ripping around these bends, getting their adrenaline rush, which is cool. Definitely appreciate that. But hopefully now, as you see, this trail is actually really well marked. Mountain bike trail goes that way. Deep Lake Trail, hiking trail goes this way. We actually will be merging back onto the mountain bike trail on the other side of the Devil's Punch Bowl. Once again, every place you've ever been, there's a Devil's Punch Bowl, there's a Devil's Bathtub, there's a Devil's Sink, there's Devil's Fall. I don't know what it is with hikers and outdoors people that they always have to name something after the Prince of Darkness. I never quite got the rationale to that. But when we get to the other side of Devil's Punch Bowl, we'll actually merge back on with the mountain bike trail, and then probably the next after that 4 miles, maybe close to 5, we'll be back on the mountain bike / hiking trail. So for those of you that are not hikers, sometimes you will hear a hiker refer to the green tunnel. And some of you may have heard me reference it. This is the green tunnel. It is an area that isn't particularly scenic. You're just wrapped in all this greenery. And to be honest, I don't mind them. They're usually cooler. Usually you'll see some beautiful flowers and things that you may not see or pay attention to in other areas. Now, I'm not going to say that I don't love a beautiful vista overlooking a whitewater river flowing through a valley. Absolutely. I love those as much as the next person. But there's something tranquil about the green tunnel and just enjoying the smells and the flowers and the butterflies and the occasional squirrel that'll run across you. I guess the moral to the story is every place on the trail has its own unique beauty. And you know, a waterfall or a vista or a rock face has a totally different beauty than something as peaceful as the green tunnel. So one of the things I want to do a quick gear plug. So I'm wearing my sun hoodie today for those of you that are fair-skinned hikers like myself. You have to protect yourself from the sun. Even on a day here in the woods, by the time you get back to the trailhead, especially a multi-day backpacking trip, you can be pretty roasted. And that could dehydrate you. It's going to ruin your fun. So, proper skin care is paramount. I have a very, very close friend of mine who is a utility lineman, and he's had some multiple scares with skin cancer. So take care of your skin. Now these here, I'll put a link down in the description. I got them from Amazon. I got 3 of them for, I think maybe 30, 40 bucks. It's got the little thumb holes in the sleeve. It's got the hood. It's very lightweight, synthetic material, wicks away sweat. So a lot of times I'll wear this as a base layer. And then I'll throw, a quarter zip hoodie or one of my military tactical shirts over the top of it if I just need a little more. But these hoodies, these sun hoodies are amazing. You don't have to go and buy a $70 or $80 sun hoodie. I have a Outdoor Vitals merino wool hoodie. I love that thing. It's probably one of my favorite shirts, even when I'm not hiking. It's absolutely great, but they're also about 75 bucks. And having 1 or 2 of them is great, but if you want to get, a handful of them, they start to get a little pricey. So these little Amazon synthetic sun hoodies, if you get them all messed up and stained or ripped, you throw them away and you just go buy another one. So just little advice from one fair-skinned hiker to potentially millions of fair-skinned hikers. So this is one spot, if you're doing this trail and you're using all trails. I like all trails. For the most part, I've had really good luck with it. It's distances are not always accurate. The path route is not always accurate. But as just a really quick app in your pocket, just to double check what you've already done your reconnaissance with and checked out, it's a pretty good app. For more technical things, I tend to use Onyx, Backcountry, or to be honest, I'll lay it out on topo maps. But this is one that All Trails has you make a right at the Devil's Soup Bowl intersection. We're actually going to go left because that's actually not only the proper trail route according to the trail markers, but it actually goes past the Devil's Soup Bowl out overlook. And if we're going to come all the way out here and see the massive depression that is this geological point of interest, I kind of want to see the overlook. So we'll get some pictures when we get there. So here is Devil's Soup Bowl overlook. It's just a big depression. Not sure if it was glacier created or what the case was, but it's just a giant depression in the topography. There's not much to see. It's pretty grown over. So yeah, hopefully this is not the most exciting thing we see today, because this is just a big giant hole in the ground that's probably a quarter mile wide. Well, one more thing off of our bucket list of hiking things to see. So if you felt so inclined, this is a little spur trail that actually goes all the way down to the deepest point of Devil's Soup Bowl. I'm not sure really why you'd want to go down there. It's probably a little wet, probably has some skeeters. We're not going to do that. We're going to go this way. But if you're on this trail and you can't help yourself, your curiosity has just got you cornered, you can go down this little spur trail and get to the bottom. If you happen to do that, leave a comment. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm missing the coolest part of the Deep Lake Trail here at Yankee Springs. Who knows? Okay, nobody can claim that central Michigan is completely flat. And we're back on the trail. So we are about just under 5 miles in, so about halfway done. So I just was bebopping down the trail, minding my own business, and I ran into a young lady that was sitting on a log on the side of the trail. She had no idea where she was. All she had was a photo of one of the trail maps, which is not the most descriptive. She had very little water. Really didn't know where she was, and she was about 4.5 miles into what would end up being a good 10-mile hike that she was not prepared for. She got off of the Deep Lake Trail back where we got off, but she didn't realize it. So I kind of helped her figure out where she was, found her a little cutback trail that will get her back onto the correct trail. I offered a couple of times to leave her some water, even though I don't have that much. Felt really bad. She only had maybe a liter total. But I'm going to leave a little trail marker. I got little trail marker clip flags, and I'm going to leave where she needs to turn off, and told her just to take that clip flag and stick it in her gear for emergencies. But it just goes to show you, a quick little day trip, something very easy, things you may have done 100 times. You zig when you should zag. You're not accustomed to the terrain or the trail or the markers, and you end up lost. This isn't that big of a deal. You can sit very quietly and you can hear traffic, so you can find a road. You know, there's roads that go through this area. But this very easily could have been a lot worse if we were, say, let's say, Manistee National Forest or Hoosier National Forest, or someplace where you have, you know, just thousands and thousands of square acres. So once again, just a public service announcement. Plan for the worst, hope for the best. Make sure you have plenty of water. Make sure you have, you know, either good maps or a GPS app. She had no GPS app, no All Trails, no Onyx, anything like that. And you know, luckily enough, she stopped me like, hey, can you help me? Where am I at? So that, and when you have an opportunity to help a fellow hiker, you know, we're a small community. We all have the same similar passion, so you know, you got to take that opportunity to help out. But yeah, we are right about halfway done. I'm gonna find me a nice spot up here, probably sit down, pull the pack off, take a break, drink some water, have a snack, and then head back to it and finish it off. So far, it's been a great hike. All right, gonna sit here and take a bit of a break, grab a snack, get some water. One of the things I'm kind of out here doing a bit of a gear shakedown on some things that I've changed since last season. Coming up with some bigger hikes. Are going to be up in Manistee National Forest here in a bit. We got the big 2025 Utah expedition where Tammy and I and some friends are going to try our best to hit 5 national parks across southern Utah in June. Got the Mammoth March, which I have to question my sanity on doing 20 miles in 8 hours, but I've got that coming at the end of June. So we've got some changes in gear. So one of the things I wanted to point out is that the handy little water bottle drinky spout that you may have seen hanging from my gear. This is something I saw on Miyagi on the Trail, his YouTube channel. I'll put a link in the corner for it. If you're familiar with that guy, he is just a machine out on the trails. It's really interesting, but it's just basically one of those long drink systems where you can screw it onto an Nalgene bottle or onto a smart water bottle and stick it in your pouch, and you basically have that hose like you would on a bladder. And in his YouTube video shows how to cut it down and make it this really handy. So you make it the length where it sits in your harness, and it's right there, and you just drink out of it, and it's really kind of handy. I like it. But little things like that, you know, just a couple of ounces on that, not even a couple of ounces, and it just really makes hydration a lot easier. But just going to sit here and take a bit of a break. I'm going to put out another video probably in another week or so on some footwear. My footwear has really changed drastically. You know, it's gone from back in my Army days of a pair of leather combat boots to you know, the Ultra Lone Peaks, the new line of Lone Peaks, and a bunch of different iterations in between depending on what I want. So we'll see you later. Bye. All right, so I'm almost 7.5 miles in. We are on our way back to the trailhead. Of course, All Trails is way off. I think this is going to end up being more of a probably 11-mile trek. Just checking GPS. Probably closer to 11 miles on this part and another 2 on that little back loop that I'm not going to do today. It's going really well. This is a beautiful hike. Run into a lot of mountain bikers, handful of other hikers, but I mean, the topography around here, for those of you that have never hiked in central Michigan before, this terrain has been really formed from the glaciers in the last ice age, the Wisconsin glacier that forms a lot of the glacier moraines across Wisconsin and even down into Indiana. We have some moraines down there, the Valparaiso moraine and some other ones. But as the glacier advanced and retreated, it left these huge hills with you know, these kind of ravines. It's not as formation rich as, let's say, southern Indiana, where you get a lot of those, you know, rock-faced sheer drop-off ravines. You know, anything like that. It's more rolling, but there's definitely some elevation here. It's also very rocky. You come across just lots of these nice round glacial rocks and boulders that have just been beaten smooth over thousands of years of being in the ice. So it's you know, it's by, you know, I'll give it a summary at the end, but it's, you know, I definitely wouldn't say it's rugged, but it's you're gonna get your heart rate up. You're gonna feel it. The elevation here is, you know, good enough for you to feel it in the legs and in the rump. The mountain bikers are, it's really kind of funny watching them try to get up some of these hills. They got it all the way in that highest gear where their legs are just pedaling like crazy and they're just barely going up the side of the hill. It's actually kind of funny to watch, but there's some hardcore mountain bikers out here that, in my opinion, are pretty fearless, because you zig when you're supposed to zag and you're going to take a nasty fall. But I figure I probably got about another hour and I'll be back to the trailhead, get stuff packed up, start heading home. And this has just been a wonderful Saturday hike in, like I said before, one of my favorite little recreation areas around. It's close enough to home that it's not a you know, an unreasonable drive. You come here for a day hike, and it's just absolutely beautiful and peaceful and quiet, and the trail conditions, with a few exceptions of people leaving junk around, the trail's clean, it's well maintained. There's actually signs around here where different organizations can adopt a section of trail, kind of like what you see on the side of the highway, adopt a highway. So, you know, I saw one that was like Boy Scouts of America. So one of the local Boy Scout troops comes out and, you know, picks up stuff and, you know, helps maintain the trail, which for these public lands, the funding just isn't there to have the state or federal government do a lot of this trail maintenance. So the trail organizations and volunteers do so much work out here, and they do a great job of keeping these trails in great shape so that the rest of us can really enjoy them. So we're going to keep going. We're off the mountain bike trail and officially back on the Deep Lake hiking trail, which is great. So I'll still be running the mountain bikers, but at least I'm technically back on the hiking trail. So see you in a bit. So we just crossed that small little stream that we got earlier this morning. We're at right at about 9.5 miles. We got about another half mile, 3/4 of a mile back to the trailhead. So we are nearly there. I was half tempted to grab some nice cool water because, man, that stream, that water looks ice cold, delicious. My water bottles are all ambient temperature, not the greatest when you're getting warmed up. So I was half tempted, but I thought, man, I'm 20 minutes away from the trailhead. I gotta get out and get a gas station, get a nice cold Gatorade or something like that. Better than drinking stream water, even if it's filtered. But getting ready for my summary here in a few minutes, but we are almost at the trailhead, almost done for the day. It has been a great day to be out on the trail. So I'll see you in a couple minutes. Okay, so here's the trailhead, all done. We're just a smidge over 10 miles. And so quick summary. I definitely give this a moderate, primarily for the distance as well as the elevation and terrain. It's if you're an extremely experienced hiker, it's probably closer to easy. If you're a rookie, it's rugged. I'm gonna sit right here on this rock. Definitely recommend, if you're in the area or you're from northern Indiana or Michigan, this definitely is a great day hike. There's a really nice campground right over that way that has camping sites. So if you can make it a nice weekend, there's not, as we've seen on the video, there's not a whole lot to see. There's no beautiful, stunning views. Like I said, there's lots of mountain bikers, but all in all, it was a great quick little day hike. Get out of the house, get some fresh air. Remember that mental health is important. Taking care of yourself is important. So getting out here, getting some fresh air, and getting some sunshine, experiencing nature, it's good for your soul. So do yourself a favor, unplug, get out from behind the computer, get out from behind the television. You don't need to binge watch Yellowstone for the 4th time. Get out here and enjoy some of these lands, and don't forget, support your public lands, both state as well as federal. There's a lot of stuff going on about kicking up logging and developing a lot of the federal public lands. The state public lands are in just as much risk. So make sure you contact your elected officials and let them know how you feel about, you know, having recreational areas and national forests and state forests and national parks and these public lands, because you can't do this without them. It just it's not possible. There isn't the resources. So, you know, support the different initiatives that are going out there. Let your senators and congressmen and your state representatives know how you feel, and take care of these resources, so that they're here for us. They're here for our children and grandchildren. It allows us to once again unplug, get outside, and enjoy yourself. But it's been a great time. Thank you for joining me as usual. I really appreciate everybody that watches these silly videos. But I'll see you next time on the trail. Bye.